Previously on the MPP, Hubbard on the Panthers.
Okay. Chuba?
Chuba.
Oh. He's young. I didn't know he was 24. I thought he was like 20, 27. So it's going to be AFC. Smaller than six
Any short
foot.
QBs in the AFC?
Oh, lower. Let's go with Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. Not a QB.
No, but it's a short wide receiver.
No
Boom.
way.
Easy. Context clues. It's shorter than 6'1", young guy, rookie, under 24. Boom.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the MPP, the Nolan Patrick podcast, and this is episode number 69.
Why'd you say it like that?
The big 6-9.
Yep.
Hopefully everyone is here from our last video, last mini episode. We did NFL predictions. Go check those out for this weekend. They're up on our last upload. Did pretty well in the view category. I don't know if you saw that, Noah.
No, I hadn't looked.
It's probably our highest in quite
20?
a while. Huh?
20s?
Add another zero to that.
Hundreds?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, 348.
So, if you are new here, welcome. These are our main episodes. We give our headlines from this last week, and Noah, if you want to start us off, we have a lot to go over. A lot literally happened in about 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of change is going on in the NFL right now, especially at the head coaching position or just coach position in general. But I'll mainly just go over head coaches because that's what people care about. That's the top of the coaching chain.
That's all we know.
So yeah. So I'll just go through just throughout the year, the firings that have been going on. I mean, like the first one, Frank Reich out of Carolina, very early in his first year for the Panthers. That was like before game 10, maybe
Pretty
even.
much. Yeah. Just
The
after
Raiders.
bye, I think. Just after the bye, couple weeks after bye.
I don't remember what week they had it, but it was really early. It had to be before week 10 or around week 10 at least.
Yeah.
Next, the Raiders with Josh McDaniels, which I don't think Josh McDaniels has had a successful head coaching stint in his career. And he's had, three chances now. Brandon Staley for the Chargers, which I think everybody wanted him fired except for the Chargers for some reason. The Chargers ownership, I guess. Potential Mike Vrabel situation to land there. Spoiler, he got fired also. And Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith for the Falcons. A lot of people wanted Arthur Smith fired for a while, especially the fantasy owners of Bijan Robinson when he just did not use Bijan. Even though Bijan had a great year, he had over 900 rushing yards and 500 receiving yards, so he had over 1,000 yards total. But a lot of potential there. He was not used how he should have been. Ron Rivera, the Washington Commanders, which everyone wanted him fired for at least the last 3 years now.
But losing record.
Yeah, I feel like that since he's been there. But new ownership, so we'll see if they trade up for the first pick at the Bears trade, or even up to the second. Who knows which QB they want to try to get and what they do over there. But what's his name? Bill Belichick already ruled out for the Commanders today. The Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel, which a lot of people were surprised by because I think before this year they had a winning record for the past 4 years that he's been there.
Yeah.
So this is
he has a
first losing season.
overall winning record.
Yeah, so a lot of teams Mike Vrabel's gonna get looked at. I would think Chargers or Patriots probably the landing spot. He used to be a Patriot, so that'd be a nice little reunion over there.
Who, Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, he was a linebacker for the
Patriots already hired a new coach.
Oh, they did.
Jared Mayo.
That he was already on the staff, right?
Yeah, he was the linebackers coach, and he's the youngest coach in the NFL now,
Uh,
37 years old.
I did see that they were talking. I didn't know that they hired him, but
Yeah,
that he was a candidate. But all right, and then Pete Carroll, one of the most surprising ones out of the bunch here for the Seahawks.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of just out of nowhere, and no one was really. It wasn't on anyone's radar that he was potentially going to be fired. So, Pete Carroll probably his last. I mean, he's kind of old now. Like, what is he in the 70s? Maybe
Pete
late
Carroll.
60s.
Yeah, he's like low 70s, maybe high 60s.
Yeah, early 70s, late 60s. Looks good. Does not look that old, but I
Yeah,
think he's probably going to be done head coaching. I did see a little article that he'll probably move to the Seahawks front office.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, tough for Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick, of course, the last one, the most recent one um, for the Patriots. And I don't think it's over for him. I think he will find another spot. I think Chargers is probably the most likely spot for him to land. Get
yeah.
elite QB Justin Herbert, fix that defense, and we'll see what happens. They can add a little Brock Bowers in the draft. You know, they got some options for the offense, defense, whatever they want to go with. Add offensive tackle. Um, and then real quick, the Bears fired their offensive coordinator finally. I don't know why they didn't for the past 6, 7 games. The play calls he makes, and then they also fired their running back coach, tight end coach, and then I think wide receivers coach. So um, turnover over there in the Chicago offensive department, coaching department.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where all these coaches come or go. Um People were thinking that the Patriots situation was gonna last a lot longer. I guess Belichick and Robert Kraft was talking in meetings during the week, and they decided to part ways, and then boom, they already hired another coach, and supposedly they didn't even contact Mike Vrabel, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah,
Sounded like they
interesting.
already knew they were gonna go with Gerard Mayo, Jared Mayo, whatever.
Yeah, maybe Belichick gave him a nice little, like, hey, this is the guy if you guys want to replace me or something in house. But Vrabel would have been good, former player, great coach so far in his career early on.
Yeah,
So good luck to everyone who was fired. You know, it's a tough time. Tough
yeah.
time.
Well, I mean, let's okay, we Chargers are probably like uh the best team you could go to, right? The most
It's probably the
capable
most
to
the most coveted job right now. I think
yeah.
it probably would have been Chargers,
So,
and I think if the Bears had fired the head coach, they would have been one of the more coveted spots because they're an up and coming team.
but out of the teams that don't have a head coach right now, which one is
It's
second best?
probably the Seahawks. Seahawks have a nice little team there. They have a good running back, good culture,
Yeah,
defensive culture, the good fan base,
that's good.
um,
Yeah.
solid QB. They might draft one, I think, probably this year, second round, potentially, if they don't think Drew Lock is a good guy to turn the keys over. When I think Geno
Yeah.
Smith's on his last year now, right? He's just signed a 2 year extension, or was it 3 year? I don't
Uh
know.
3 year maybe?
Either
2 year?
way, Geno didn't look great. He did have good moments, but he didn't have the same type of year as last year,
Yeah.
leading them to
But hey
the
man, he got a
playoffs.
contract and he's set. But another opening position that there is the Raiders because of Antonio Pierce. He was only hired for the end of the year. So that is another job that is open. Um, the Raiders could be okay. You just need to
Yeah,
figure out your QB situation, but
it's definitely not the worst position, but
yeah,
if I'm the Raiders, I'm locking up Pierce. Like he's he turned that place around. I think a lot of people thought Raiders might not even reach 5 wins at one point.
yeah,
Uh, I know I thought they were going to be a top five. They were going to have a top five pick in the draft. I thought they were going to go QB easily, but
yeah,
they went on a good run. They dropped 60 something points on a team on the Chargers. So there's potential there. They have good offensive weapons. So that is I would say that's a coveted spot there too. They have a nice young defense coming up too that they
Um,
added players to last year.
Supposedly there's a rumor that the Titans are eyeing Antonio Pierce. So something to keep your eye on there. And then finally, lastly I want to say is that the Commanders' job, I would say they have the number 2 pick in the draft. You have new ownership. You could get, Caleb Williams if the Bears don't draft him, Drake May, or Jaden Daniels, I
You're
guess.
definitely going to get a solid top three QB. So
Yeah. So, you never know. You could just go to the
yeah,
Commanders.
just for the pick it alone, it's probably a fun position to go and coach. But other than that, defense is awful. Um, Offensive line is awful. Like there's a lot of holes on that team.
True.
Unless you stick with Sam Howell and draft a offensive tackle, that offensive line is just bad, so bad. Sam Howell sacked the most in the last 2 years. Second place, Justin Fields, I think. So there's there's some tough line situations there.
Yeah. I think the Panthers are the worst, maybe the Falcons, but you have good pieces in for the Falcons, but you just need another QB.
Yeah, the Falcons. I think the Falcons honestly might be top three job I would want to land if I was a head coach. Great offense. They had a good defense this past year,
Yeah.
so a lot of good weapons. Just you get to go in there and pick your QB basically. I think
Yeah.
you go and you get Bo Nix. You trade up to one if you really want to, which I trade up to two. Try to find someone that way. Might have to give up a lot, but you'll get your guy. Okay, but next we're gonna pivot a little bit to NBA. Just a quick little rundown of the potential trade rumors that have been going on recently. Trade deadline's coming up in what? In a month?
Yeah.
About a little less than a month, right before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Um, we had a lot of rumors. Well, first the first trade that happened, I think we talked about already. The Knicks traded away R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, a couple picks for um, Precious Achua. That's it now. And then OG Anunoby, and Malachi Flynn. So Anunoby, the prize there, which I think a lot of people might think he's a little overrated,
Yeah.
for that price for an RJ Barrett who you picked with the second pick in the draft.
Yeah.
But hey, the Knicks valued him. He's been pretty good for them. He's a two-way player, I think more than RJ Barrett defensively. He's better than RJ, but
Hmm.
RJ Barrett dropped 40 something points a couple of games ago. So, and I think he dropped 25 yesterday or 2 days
Yeah.
ago too. Like he's been going off for the Raptors. So a nice little change of scenery, going back home because he is Canadian.
Hmm.
So
Even
that'll be good for him.
Emmanuel quickly. He's been doing pretty well.
Yeah,
Little role.
both high power offensive guys that they traded away for pretty much a defensive minded player. So we'll see how that pans out in the next few months for the playoff pushes. Um, we have DeJounte Murray of the Atlanta Hawks. Big trade rumors for him. Lakers, Warriors, back to the Spurs potentially for less than what they sent him over there for. Um, but that'd be a fun player for someone to grab. Good two-way player also.
Yeah.
Kind of lost his defensive stats this past couple years, but I believe if he goes back to the Spurs, maybe Popovich can get the defensive minded back in here
Yeah.
uh, because that's what he was really.
Known for.
Yeah, he excelled at it. He was
Yeah.
really good. He has all the intangibles. He has the
Wow.
long wingspan.
Can't even spell
He's
intangible.
quick. Oh, I can't say it. Um, um, Potential Bulls DeJounte Murray trade has been going on, trade talks. So that's something to look out for. Siakam to the Pacers, Siakam to the Warriors. Of course, Siakam to the Lakers. Lakers are trying to get everybody, just like every other
Yeah.
year, and then they land nobody. But that's a big one. The Warriors have been struggling. I don't know what they would have to get for Siakam. Siakam has been playing really well this year too. He's averaging 20 something points a game,
Yeah.
probably like 8 rebounds, 5 assists. So he's having another solid year, just what he's been doing for the past few years. Um, I think the only team that could land him would probably be the Warriors, unless another team swoops in with a couple prospects, a couple first or a first. But I think Warriors probably have the most promising young players that haven't showed anything because they don't get played,
Yeah,
which we'll talk about later. But
I'll say what I'll say. Yeah,
uh, and then another team, the Heat, looking into adding um, more players like always. They've been linked to Zach LaVine, Donovan
dude, I haven't
Mitchell,
heard about the Heat in like forever, except that rookie that they have. Like, is it
Jaime Jaquez
Jaime? Yeah,
Jr. Yeah, that guy's the guy right there. He's a
yeah,
beast. I always pick him on underdogs. He always hits for me. But they're looking at Mitchell or Zach LaVine, along with the Lakers looking at Zach LaVine. Um, so we'll see what happens. There's a lot of big names out there. Like the biggest one's probably Mitchell to the Heat, which I don't know. That's kind of Cavs. I don't know if the Cavs will give him up like that. I don't know because the
yeah.
Heat don't really have anyone. I guess unless Tyler Hero, they want to send him, swap him, and a couple firsts maybe. I don't know, but Zach LaVine is probably the next name, and then Pascal Siakam. But beware of Zach LaVine. Bulls have been playing great basketball without him, so he's definitely going to be on the move. I'm pretty sure this deadline. We'll see just
Yeah.
where he goes and how much they get.
True.
And then last but not least, something everyone might have seen in the news lately, or on Twitter, at the very least, has been everywhere. TikTok, aliens in Miami at the mall where there was a supposedly a fight between some kids over there, and then if you've seen the videos, you see the kids running away from the mall when the cops are showing up. People were saying that they weren't running from the cops, they were running because they were scared of some aliens that were in the mall in Miami. There's some footage at 100p, just pixels on the screen of a figure walking by all the cop cars, and it's supposed to look like a tall, uh, gray figure. I
Yeah,
guess
like a
you can't
something.
really tell if it's just a person or um, an alien. But Patrick, what do you think there's aliens out there?
I don't know. I think something is out there. Whether it's aliens, maybe another form of species. I guess that would be aliens, but I think something's out there. I don't think I believe in like the whole like parallel universe, like
Um,
aliens are living like another life somewhere else. Like I don't know. I think there's something out there. Hopefully, I don't see the day where they do come. So that's my
yeah,
take.
I think there are. I think it's just there's
I
so
think I believe
many.
in ghosts more than aliens.
Really interesting. That kind of be like in the parallel universe type thing, though.
Gosh,
There's 2 dimensions.
maybe they're
But
all hanging out, making
yeah,
fun of
maybe
us.
they're all just pointing and laughing.
Yeah.
But
Maybe the aliens have their own MPP podcast. I don't
yeah, well, that would be the different. That would be a parallel universe where we have like this is us. We're talking about this in a different universe, but we're saying some other stuff. It's not
know.
the same. We're not talking the same stuff, but
Yeah.
we also have a podcast. I think there has to be. There's just too many galaxies out there.
Yeah.
If you ever just watch a 10-minute space video, you just get overwhelmed every time. I mean, look at Patrick's background. Like, look how much stars there are out there, and
Yes.
they're not even close to us. Those are millions and million light years away from us. Like, and you can see them
Yeah. They look
from
so
from
close, but
our
yet
from our
they're
planet.
so far away.
You wouldn't be able to get to them for millions of years, and it's I just don't see how they wouldn't exist. But also, if they were to visit, I don't think they go to a mall in Miami and
They're trying to turn up.
yeah, and just scare a bunch of kids and then just walk right out of there
Yeah.
without anyone really noticing.
Casual. Casual.
Yeah, but it was weird the police presence that showed up. It was just like the whole police department was there at the mall, which made it look worse, if, for
Yeah.
all the conspiracy theorists out there. But it's just fun to think about, I think. So, um, yeah, that was just a quick little story I saw. So, we'll see. It's already been a week. Nothing new has really come out, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
This is like
Um,
a couple days after like the new year, and everyone was like, "Great,
yeah, it was like 5 days, 4 days after. So, um,
2024 aliens."
yeah, off to the start. There's like little TikTok videos of people calling their parents who work at the police department in Miami, and they're like, "Oh, we can't talk about it. We can't talk about it." But who knows if those are real?
Yeah,
Like
exactly. It's probably their friend on the other line.
it's just their dad's friend. They're like, "Hey, let's make a TikTok.
Hey,
Just pretend like you can't
just
talk
say
about
it.
it. Just say you can't talk about it."
Yeah, exactly.
But it's always fun to think about.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun until it happens.
Yeah.
Well, those are Noah's headlines from this last week. On to my headlines. Uh, Picking up the pieces here, but big news in the golf world. Uh, Tiger Woods and Nike part ways. It's been a 27-year partnership. Um, Basically, Tiger was one of the big faces of Nike. I would put him right next to LeBron James. I thought Tiger would have a lifelong uh partnership like LeBron does with Nike, but
Yeah.
man, they're going their separate ways. Nike's trying to get into, something else and doesn't really want Tiger as the face anymore. Um Kind of cool that around the office trying to predict where Tiger's going to go next. There's rumors that TaylorMade, the equipment company that's going to start their own line of clothing and just have Tiger do it since he's already sponsored by TaylorMade. Or Grayson Clothers, which Larry Fitzgerald is involved with, and Justin Thomas is already a athlete of them, and Tiger's son is already a
Mm.
ambassador of Grayson. So money on that. If you want to bet on this, you can,
Ooh.
of course. Random ones: Ralph Lauren, Melbon, Skechers,
Skechers.
Uniqlo. Yeah, I mean all of them. Or Tiger starts his own brand, which highly unlikely, but you can
That's
also
what that's what I was thinking that he might just start it out. I mean, he made enough money from Nike. Why not just
yeah.
venture out, try to get your own little thing going?
And there were questions. He does get to keep his logo, the TW, so he can put that on anything. Doesn't have to be a Nike shirt.
Yeah.
My next headline, a little recap of the college football championship. Michigan pretty much dominated Washington, I would say. Washington never had a lead in the game, and Michigan's defense kind of stopped the Huskies. But
Yeah, Washington's defense hasn't really been that great all year, so
yeah,
not surprised that they gave up uh, you know,
30 something, over
30
30,
points.
35.
And JJ McCarthy carried the team with 10 passes. So,
Yeah, a lot of running, a lot of Blake Corum. The other guy, I think Loveland
Edwards too, Donovan Edwards
Edwards.
was
Yeah,
had a big game. He had two long touchdowns, I
yeah.
believe.
But this brings up Jim Harbaugh misses 6 games during the season. Uh, he's one of candidate. He's a candidate for NFL head coach vacancies. Um, he's putting his name in there. Let's see if someone actually goes after him. Supposedly he's a lot to handle, his personality and everything, and that's why the 49ers let go uh of him when he was there.
Yeah. Well, a
So we'll
lot of
see.
rumors that he could go and draft JJ McCarthy with him. So,
Yeah. Bears, Raiders. Probably Bears are out now, but
Bears out because they're
Raiders.
keeping head coach. Yeah. So,
I mean, everyone wants the Chargers.
yeah, Titans. If he goes to the Chargers or like a team like the Titans, he's probably not going to get his QB that he wants. He's going to have to inherit one, Will Levis and
Yeah,
Herbert. But if he goes Falcons, never know. He can go ahead and draft JJ at 8, wherever they're picking 9.
yeah, he may be there. And then also too, along with coach firings or parting ways, this last week, Nick Saban retiring. Pretty big news. I think a lot of
Legend.
people are blindsided about this one. Unlike Belichick, we kind of had guessed. Pete
Yeah, an
Carroll was
idea.
another surprise. But yeah, Nick Saban out, and it's gonna be very interesting who they go with next. I guess there's already finalists for the job. You got Crimson Tides, like specialist coach Tommy Reese, Mike Norvell from Florida State, and Kalen DeBoer from Washington Huskies. So,
Yeah, I saw
um,
the Oregon coach also is going to have an interview. Lanning.
but he already said he's staying with Oregon.
Nice.
Yeah, so go Ducks.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. I mean, hey man, you're going to the Big Ten. Like, you have the number one recruiting class already.
Yeah, it's not really. I mean, I don't think Alabama's going to be the same powerhouse once Saban leaves, anyways. So
Yeah,
they've already lost a couple of recruits when
yeah,
Saban left, announced he was leaving. So yeah, I mean, you already have your class there.
yeah.
You're
You
already
already got your
setting up
players.
for next year. Yeah,
You got two
there's like,
5-star QBs coming in, gonna play for the job, compete for the job. So
and it's not like he's coming from a school who's not competitive in football. Your team was one win away from making the playoffs. So
exactly. When the news broke, I thought his assistants were gonna be like the ones trying to get the job, like Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian from Texas. Um, People were saying Dabo is like in line for it, but Alabama fans don't want that because they hate him supposedly. So
yeah, he's had a tough time over there in Clemson.
yeah. Also too, I also think that NIL kind of, these older coaches, they have like a way of doing things, and now with NIL, and you have to like, pay
Yeah,
people. I think it's a whole different breed. So maybe they get a
yeah,
little young coach in there.
yeah. It's a change. It's definitely a change when you have to go and instead of just recruit them, like sell them on your like what you do at your school.
Yeah,
Like his culture, like he'd be like, look, you're gonna come here, you're gonna win, you're gonna go to the NFL, whatever. We're gonna make you into this powerhouse. You're part of this powerhouse team.
yeah,
Now, they. I don't think he really wants to go in there and be like, that same pitch doesn't hit the same for players if they're not gonna get the money they want.
yeah. They don't get paid. And then finally, my final headline, Noah was kind of hinting at it. The Warriors are in the news lately. They just got blown out by the Pelicans by 36 points the other night, and they lost the last one before that one to Toronto by a lot. And fans are booing them, which dang, haven't heard of haven't heard a Warriors crowd boo the Warriors in a long time. Uh is it time to split up the Warriors? Noah's always giving his take on the Bears because they're always in the news. But now
Well,
hey, look, the Warriors are in the spotlight. They're in a slump. Chris Paul out 4 to 6 weeks. Draymond suspension. He's coming back, I think this week, sometime. Says he's a new man. We'll give him a month until he gets suspended again. Um, Clay Thompson, you're not gonna get much in draft capital, I don't think, or anyone for him. He's pretty washed up, I would say, a little bit. You can't trade away Curry because he has probably 3 more good years, and he's Steph Curry. You're not gonna trade away him. And then in the news, Wiggins may get traded. Crazy that Wiggins may get traded because Kaminga said he wants more minutes. But I don't know. I think I would rather take Kaminga and Moody together than Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins has had an interesting career. Started off, was not doing great in the NBA. Um, Started doing better a few years in. Goes to the Warriors. Looks great for the first 2 years, and now he's just fallen off a cliff again. It's
Yeah,
a up and down career for Wiggins as the former number one overall pick. But yeah, I don't know why Moody and Kuminga don't get the playing time that they deserve. I think they've earned it, honestly. But
yeah,
Steve Kerr seems to think that they haven't, and he's the coach. He knows more than I do. So who
yeah.
knows what's going on behind the scenes?
And no one's going to question Steve Kerr. It's like questioning Popovich. I think Popovich is still above Steve Kerr, but
Oh yeah, definitely.
he's kind of they won 4 championships in 5 years, 6 years. So, um, I think it's just time to start over. I think you just got to get rid of Klay Thompson as well. Maybe keep Draymond because you are paying him 25 million. No one's going to take that
No
contract.
one's taking. You're just have to release him. I don't know how much guaranteed he is, but if you really want to get rid of him, the only option is to release or hold on to him.
Yeah, and then get some role players. I like Moody. I like Kaminga. So
But I've been saying this. I've been saying they needed to break this up 2 years ago. There's no chance that it was gonna work out for this long. Just history, throw history. What do they say? Father times never lost.
yeah,
They're getting old. But I think it's too late to break it up. I don't think anyone's going to want any of these guys.
yeah,
Clay, you just don't re-sign Clay. He's gone. Someone's going to pick him up for very cheap. Um, I don't think he'll ever get a big contract. So it probably maybe max you might get a 10 mil,
yeah,
2 year 10 mil. Um, he's just not the same player. Though if you really, 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 really want to rebuild this, you have to get rid of Curry. You get the most back for him. It's just that simple.
yeah,
I don't know who he'd go to. It'd probably have to be someone like the Thunder, where you get a lot of picks back, and
yeah.
uh,
But you have Shea Gilgis Alexander, which is wild.
yeah, they had to pair him. You have to go and try to get like I don't know who they would trade because I guess like a Chet Holmgren. I don't know if they would trade him, but you have to do Chet Holmgren, a couple firsts, uh, for Steph, and like
Yeah,
a couple other things, obviously. But um, it would take a lot, but that would be your best option if you really want to rebuild.
yeah,
But it won't happen because he's a warrior for life, most likely.
yeah, basically. And then we'll just go quickly to our underdog picks. These are for our Sunday slate of NFL games.
Yes, yes.
Who we got now?
Yeah, so go to the Green Bay Dallas game. This game's gonna be interesting, but I do believe Jaden Reed is gonna get higher than 48 and a half receiving yards. He's been like almost topping 100 for the past 3 games. I think he will be focused by the defense, but good receivers find a way to get open. So next we'll stay here. Go to Jake Ferguson, tight end for the Dallas Cowboys, and he's had over I don't know 50 yards for the past 3 games also. So 42 and a half for Jake.
Eight.
And now, last but not least, Puka Nakua for the Rams against Detroit. He's been the focal point of this Rams offense for pretty much the whole year, if not like more than half the year. So we'll go Puka Nakua, 76 and a half higher receiving yards.
Oh, Jake Ferguson already got bumped.
Well, that was the regular one I had, 43 and a half.
Oh, really?
It
Huh.
was down to 42, but now it's up 1 yard.
1 yard. On to my picks. We got Buffalo first game in the morning. Uh, Picking little scorchers here for everyone. I think they're gonna run the ball with the TJ Watt kind of out. Josh Allen probably gonna do some running, but I think James Cook is gonna run, and mine isn't on here, but it was a touchdown. But I'll go with 15 and a half rushing attempts on the fly. Um, like Buffalo's just always better when they run the ball.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing for the past 5 weeks, so
Yeah.
can't stray away.
Next, we're going back to the Dallas Green Bay game. Uh, I hit on this one last week, and I think I'm going to hit again on this one. Brandon Cooks getting a touchdown, a little scorcher for everyone. 1.5 multiplier. Uh, everyone's going to CeeDee Lamb. Spread the ball around. Go to Brandon Cooks as well. And then finally, guess we're going to stay with Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah, why not? Why not go with Darren Bland with a defensive interception?
What,
Uh,
three
he's
times?
he's leading the league in interceptions, and it just takes one Jordan Love tip pass or overthrown, and Bland's gonna intercept that one. So
Yeah, I think the Cowboy Packers game easiest one to pick. I feel like it's gonna have the most offense in it.
yeah,
And I guess next you could go Rams Detroit, but just the Rams offense in general. But
yeah.
I don't know. They
Even I
could they could go off, but they also might have a tough game.
Yeah, I would just stay away from the Bucks and the Eagles game, and then Detroit maybe Jameer Gibbs, just play it safe, or Amon St. Brown.
Yeah, Almar St. Brown always almost always hits. Yeah, if you're freaking Rams Detroit, the like Kyron or the two receivers for the Rams, and then obviously Amon
Yeah,
Ra. I might even stay away from Gibbs. I think Amon Ra St. Brown is probably just
yeah,
the
I
safest
would say
bet.
yeah. But those are our underdog picks for Sunday, and that's it for this episode number 69. Hopefully everyone enjoyed. Go follow us on TikTok at the MPP Live for all the best content, and we'll see everyone in the next one.
So yeah.